Hey guys, it's Kingdom Orange 2 here, and welcome back to my channel. So about a week ago, this brand new show called Mermaid Magic released on Netflix, and I thought for today's video it would be fun if I gave a full-depth analysis on the show itself, including its storyline, its characters, and the overall design, and tell you guys what I liked about it or what I would change. Now for those of you who don't know, Mermaid Magic was created by Rainbow, who is also responsible for the show Winx Club, and I just felt like this show really proved to me that Eugenio Straffi and his team are able to still write interesting plots and storylines. I just gotta tell you, however, this video will contain spoilers, so if you don't want to hear any of it, I would skip the storyline section of this video. Alright, so with all that aside, let's swim right into it. Storyline. Mermaid Magic follows the story of Merlinda, the princess of Mertropia. Mertropia is cut off from the sea by a magical portal whose power is maintained by the mystical pearls of Neptune. The pearl's magic, however, is running low, and King Seaford only has a little life force left before he and his kingdom will begin to fall apart. We also later learn that 400 years ago, Barbarossa and his pirate armada tried to steal the mermaid's powers. He was aided by the sea witch Tempesta, who created a powerful talisman full of dark magic, which he used to steal the life force from many merpeople. Mermaids, though, were able to defeat Barbarossa and imprison him within the blade of his own sword. Unfortunately, however, 15 years ago, Barbarossa was able to escape, and the portal exists around Mertropia to keep his toxic sea monsters from hurting their citizens. Now, after Merlinda learns all about this information, she decides to steal a map from the royal archives. The map shows the location of multiple pearls, which can be used to help power Mertropia. Merlinda, along with her friends, decide to sneak through the portal and journey out onto the dangerous waters to find the pearls. Luckily though, the map is stolen by one of Barbarossa's sea monsters, and Merlinda and her friends are washed ashore. On land, the girls meet the twins Celia and Tyler, who run a marine animal rescue center. They also meet Fred, the son of Mr. Red, who owns the world's largest eco-friendly chemical factory. We also learn that Mr. Red was the one who set Barbarossa free 15 years ago, and has been supplying Barbarossa with toxic brew to create his monsters in exchange for money. Merlinda and her friends continue to search for more pearls without the use of a map. They are successful in locating one, but it's snatched by a surprise attack by Tempesta. Tempesta then takes the pearls back to Barbarossa and explains to him about the power of these magical pearls and how they can use the map to obtain more and finally defeat the mermaids. But despite a bit of intervention from the bad guys, Merlinda and her friends are able to successfully obtain 2 pearls from Mertropia. Wanting to steal the new pearls for themselves, Tempesta hatches a plan. She uses her magic to disguise herself as Queen Corellia, Merlinda's mother who disappeared 15 years ago while fighting against Barbarossa's sea monsters. Tempesta convinces Merlinda to return to Mertropia, and despite eventually being outed as a fake, she's able to steal the pearls from the city. Barbarossa also successfully captures 2 of Merlinda's friends and turns them into mutant sea monsters. Wanting to get her friends back and save her city, Merlinda trains alongside Orca, her mother's former second-in-command, who teaches her how to improve her battle technique. She eventually goes head-to-head with Barbarossa, who is even more powerful now that he has all of Neptune's pearls in his possession. He begins to drain Merlinda's life force, but the spirit of Queen Corellia appears and tells Merlinda that love and not bravery will defeat Barbarossa's power. Using her mother's advice, Merlinda is able to defeat him and trap him back inside his sword. With her friends now free of Barbarossa's curse, they use the rest of Neptune's pearls to save the city. However, the series ends with a scene of Tempesta saying the rest of her vengeance is yet to come. Okay, so first of all, I just want to say, despite it being clearly marketed towards younger kids, I really enjoyed the show. I want to first compliment the writers on the pacing. I think deciding to only have 10 episodes of this season was a perfect choice. There was definitely filler, but even in those episodes, there were still important plot advancements that happened in the background. I really just don't think the show had enough B-plot to try and stretch it across more episodes, nor would I really want them to. I also would say that I was initially worried that the plot would become a bit too tropalicious. Now, I can't lie and argue that they didn't go with the whole fish out of water storyline that's been overused to death at this point, but the mission of them trying to find the pearls to restore the city was actually quite intriguing, and I felt like it had me on the edge of my seat at times. However, I will say, though, that I wasn't happy about a couple of things. First of all, this show is called Mermaid Magic, and the magic used was pretty lame. The three main girls each had different powers. Sasha could make herself invisible, Merlinda could control water, and Nerissa could control lightning, and they also had various different spells they would use. But for a show that is made by the same company that creates Winx Club, I just felt like the spells and attacks were pretty lame, and I'm gonna be harder on them for this show because the words Mermaid Magic are literally in the title. On top of that, the animators thought that Mermaid Magic would benefit from transformation sequences, and as much as I love a good transformation sequence, I feel like here it was very, very unnecessary. Not only was the song they wrote really bad, but the girls would literally just transform into armor. Characters. The main character of Mermaid Magic is named Merlinda. She doesn't have that much of a unique personality, but I feel like sometimes if your main character is really kooky or annoying, it kind of ruins the show. So I'm happy that the writers went with sort of an every woman approach here. Her best friends are Sasha and Nerissa. Sasha is social media obsessed and a bit childish, while Nerissa is very stern and serious. This trio bears a striking resemblance to Lollyrock in both looks and personalities, except I found Sasha to be fortunately way less annoying than Ariana was. The main villains of Mermaid Magic are the ghost pirate Barbarossa and the sea witch Tempesta. Now I'll be honest and say that I don't really care for pirates or the whole mermaid versus pirate dynamic that they were going for in this show. However, I did feel like Barbarossa, with his endless supply of those disgusting sea monsters, was an interesting enough threat. Also, I don't really understand why Tempesta worked with him in the first place, but maybe it'll be something better explained in future seasons, I don't know. I was originally going to use the rest of this section to go deeper into the show's side characters, but I realized I didn't actually have that much to say. Nobody is thankfully super annoying, but they are all pretty one-dimensional. One side character I do want to talk about though is Alex. He's a captain of the Royal Guard, and the writers were trying to tease this love triangle between Merlinda, Tyler, and Alex, but the thing is, we only see Alex have feelings for Merlinda and not the other way around, so I don't even know why they put it in the show. In fact, there was one scene where I thought Nerissa was trying to hint at having feelings for Alex, but the rest of that fizzled away like the rest of the season. Character designs and animation. So in this section, I want to touch on the show's character designs and why I found them to not only be underwhelming, but actually a huge disadvantage to its overall success and marketability. First of all, I would say that I don't think that the show's overall animation style or designs were horrible. Besides the characters having this awkward bow leg situation when they ran or sprinted around, I felt like the animation was really beautiful and well made. I also really enjoyed the overall design of Mertropia, as well as the looks of many of the show's background characters. My main issue, however, is with the three main girls' designs. For a show about mermaids, they are very, very, very underwhelming. For starters, when people think mermaids, they typically will imagine a woman with long, flowy hair, and all of the girls' hairstyles are just way too short. Now, technically, we could argue that both Sasha and Nerissa's hair isn't short, but for a cartoon show, their hair needs to be exaggerated much longer. I would actually even state that Nerissa's hairstyle is fine, but the designers should have given it something extra, like a seashell or a headband, just to make it a tad bit more interesting. And don't even get me started on their hair colors. Why do they all have natural hair colors? I mean, dirty blonde, no offense, is just so boring. This almost reminds me of whatever Dumbo decided it was a good idea to mute the redness in Halle Bailey's Ariel. I also have to talk about the girls' outfits. Each girl is wearing like a bustier top, a necklace, and a different colored tail. And while I don't expect the designs to be crazy like Mermaids, where one character literally had a video game controller as a tail, I do expect something a bit more unique and interesting. Why not have each character's outfits better reflect their personality? Now, you may be asking yourself, why am I going on and on about this? But it really has to do with the show's marketability. The designs need to be unique enough to stand out on merchandise like dolls, journals, backpacks, etc. I feel like, however, that Mermaid Magic's designs are so run-of-the-mill that they look like something I would find at a dollar store or a Five Below. Now, I believe that the animators might have gone with simpler designs so that it was not only cheaper but easier to animate. However, I just feel like that's a dumb excuse. What they could have done is gotten rid of those boring armor transformation sequences and instead made their mermaid designs very elaborate and beautiful. And since the girls spend most of the show in their human designs anyways, they would have been fine in the long run. But speaking of merchandise, Where is it? I know that the show is on Netflix, but the lack of any sort of merchandise is actually a bit weird and concerning. The most shocking to me is that Witty Toys didn't at least make dolls for them, especially since Witty Toys is owned and operated by Rainbow. Overall, I do hope that Netflix decides to renew the show for future seasons, but in all honesty, I'm a bit worried about the lack of promotion, so I guess it really depends on how many people watch it and the weird metrics Netflix uses for show renewals. Regardless though, if you enjoy mermaids as much as I did, I would still give it a chance. Maybe we could get those viewership numbers up together. If you liked this video today and want to see more content in the future, make sure you hit that subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Thank you guys so much for watching today, and I will see you soon. Bye!